Hi, Kendra here, bringing you the scoop and the early pilot review for USA's new summer drama, Covert Affairs.
Covert Affairs, a new original series.
This one starts up on Tuesday, July 13th, and we're very excited because we all here at Sidereal love all the USA shows, and we're also big fans of Alias, so having a new female spy drama is pretty exciting. So this new drama is from the producers of Mr. and Mrs. Smith and also the Bourne trilogy as well as the OC, so it's a pretty interesting mix of inspiration behind this show. And it also has a fantastic cast, which we're really excited about. So it stars Piper Perabo as the main character, Annie Walker, and she is a CIA trainee who was pulled a couple months early from her training to go work on some special projects, and she doesn't really know why. She thinks it's because of her excellent linguistic skills, but it turns out in the first episode we find out there may be more behind that that's more personal.
Everyone here is so young.
There was a hiring freeze that was unfrozen after 9/11. 50% of the agency has 5 years experience or less.
That's both inspiring and weirdly unsettling.
Cast also includes Christopher Gorham, who a lot of you will know as Henry from Ugly Betty, and he will be playing Augie Anderson, who is a CIA military intelligence agent who was blinded during an operation, so he now just works primarily in the office.
Annie Walker?
Yes?
Augie Anderson, Tech Ops, and your friendly neighborhood cruise director. Walk with me.
But he kind of becomes Piper or Annie's buddy on the show, and so he's been pretty fun to watch so far in the pilot. And then cast also includes the amazing Peter Gallagher, who you will all know and love as Sandy Cohen from the OC, among plenty of movies and other shows.
Conrad, let's go. Welcome to the agency, Annie.
He works for Arthur Campbell.
So he will be Arthur Campbell, who is the director of the CIA, and then Annie's boss is played by Carrie Machette, who was from Invasion, who will be Annie's boss and is also Arthur's wife, which always creates a little extra tension. So as I noted earlier, we received the pilot episode courtesy of USA, so I just want to give you a quick little review of that first episode. And I'll give you a minor spoiler alert just in case you don't want to hear anything, but I won't reveal too much, I promise. Since it's on USA, it is a very character-driven drama. I was surprised that it isn't as much like a lot of the other USA dramas as I expected. It does have kind of the light and fun and dramatic aspect of most USA shows, but I felt like it had a little more depth and substance, probably because it has a little bit more behind it from the producers, with a lot more inspiration from their other spy dramas they've made. As far as what it's most comparable to, I would say is Alias, which is not a shocker since we already mentioned Alias, and it's a female spy drama, so there you go. But I will say that this is not going to end up being Alias light. It seems to have its own thing going on, and it's been just long enough since Alias. I think it will stand on its own 2 feet.
It's like a Club Med without the free drinks.
My favorite parts of the pilot were the character development. The most developed characters were, of course, the main character, Annie, and also Augie. And their friendship really was what got me very interested in the show. The spy drama and all the action was a lot of fun too, but that friendship and the bond, the work bond that's starting to happen there is definitely the most intriguing. The only part I didn't like about that is that Augie, as I mentioned, is blind.
Blind guy leading you around the CIA. Insert ironic joke here.
Which is all fine and good, but I'm so used to Christopher Gorham in his different roles where he's not blind, and it feels a little off knowing him from other shows. So maybe we'll get used to it. Maybe it'll be a really cool part of his character, but so far I'm most interested in that friendship. The other part that I really thought was interesting is that they aren't afraid to shy away from the fact that Annie is just in training, even though she's been thrown into the job right away. When she's fighting or whatever, she may mess up a little bit, even though she's still awesome and has lots of skills. So I think that's something that's really interesting that actually executive producer Doug Lyman mentioned in a Q&A we did with him recently, is that he's really embracing the fact that she's not perfect and she hasn't been a spy for years. So that's been a pretty cool element so far, and he said they're going to play with that a lot. So my hopes for the show coming up for the season is that they'll follow more of the lead of Alias and Chuck as opposed to Burn Notice, mostly because I can tell from the pilot already for Covert Affairs that they are going to base a lot of Annie's experiences also into her real life, which I love about Alias and Chuck, because you always get that element of their personal lives, and I think that is a lot more interesting than some shows that will just completely cut that out. And Michael Weston on Burn Notice, sure, you see him, running around with his friends, but he really has 2 friends / partners and his mom, and that's about it in his real life. So that's it, and don't forget to check out the Covert Affairs premiere Tuesday, July 13th on USA Network, right after the season premiere of White Collar.